you might be out. Like, I don't know. It's hard to see where your wins are going to come from. And well, we finally have ourselves a draft. Aster RNG going into game number 2. Chen is the first ban here for Aster. Pain and Monkey King there, and there's the Spirit Breaker, but it does leave the Tiny ready to be picked.
Team Aster's
what do we have? Yeah, Tiny and IO both.
Could just go to the Tiny if it doesn't get picked up here by Aster.
It's hard to give away a Tiny IO, so if you don't pick it here, you better pick something that counters it hard.
Right.
10 seconds remaining.
What's that gonna be, B-Cop? What's the counter? They spoke about it in the changing room.
Remaining.
Hopefully they were listening.
Team Aster's turn. Radiant.
Grimstroke.
Grimstroke. And then Ember. We've been seeing this combo quite a bit. You can jump in with the remnants, or find yourself moving forward with the Inkswell. It gives you, with the shard, the strong dispel.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm tiny.
5 seconds remaining.
Tiny the tiger? I'm tiny. Okay.
Pick Tiny now.
I think every time I try to do an impression of Tiny, it's always coming out like a Dark Souls character.
Yeah. Yeah, like Dark Souls has a really good way of making all the characters sound sort of dead inside.
Robust and like... Even the voices in Elden Ring, too. It's always very... A gyrocopter! Okay.
I mean, if you want to fight earlier, it's a good option. It's just... What does Gyro have that Tiny doesn't, you know? I feel like Tiny is just a better Gyro.
Team Aster's turn to ban.
Everyone's hating my boy Tiny. I don't understand why. Why are you gonna do my rock boy like that?
I don't know. I don't know why they would do that.
It could be a 5 gyro and it's all a mega debate. How about that?
Is 5 gyros still
good? Yeah.
Still thing?
It didn't get nerfed, so.
True.
And then you pick Invoker plus Tiny now. And then you give Tiny mega buffs, and he kills the buildings in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Honestly, with these buffs, 2 seconds.
Remaining.
3 seconds.
Aster's turn to ban.
2.5.
5.
4.
100 seconds. All in.
Jesus!
Sheesh. So they ban the Kunkka, they ban the Mars. They get some of these core heroes out of the way because, well, at least for Aster, they do have themselves the 4 and their mid.
Yeah, it could be a 1 Ember, but I don't really feel like Monet is an Ember player, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really see that from him. We saw it from God King, though. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times.
The non-instant answer always makes me panic.
No need to panic. You need to trust in your own words.
It's so difficult.
Team Aster's
oh my gosh.
The Bandit Invoker, so no buff Tiny. Well, let's go Venge Tiny then.
Seen it before. We could see if it works again.
Or just leave Tiny completely out and pick normal stuff.
Could just go to the Venge anyway. I think we've seen some success with the Venge. Not in the 1. Obviously, God King had some trouble with that,
5
but
seconds remaining.
We'll see.
Yeah, and Aster, I mean, it can't get more cookie cutter than Iro Gyro. Has been around for years. Everybody knows what it's gonna do. Everybody knows what it's good at.
I need to get actual cookie cutters in the shape of Io and Gyro. I guess you just need a circle for Io, but Gyro is a little bit more of a complex cookie cutter.
Yeah. I'm sure you could find it, though.
True.
There's probably something out in the market somewhere.
Let's see. There's a lot of time being spent here. I keep forgetting to have the statistics in my head of when you take this long on an earlier pick for your reserve time if you've lost the game, because it has felt that way. And they go to the Mirana, which is looking like a Bobica hero.
Mirana Grimstroke is not the perfect setup.
Is
You have an Ember to set up at least.
yeah,
That's okay.
Is core Mirana at all viable?
No.
10 seconds remaining.
They just took away the core shard, so no.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Because before you had like 160, 190% crit. I don't quite remember the number, but they took that away from the shard. So now you are a budget Lina.
Radiant team pick.
Bane to set up for the IO. Yep. Makes perfect sense. And now a strong offlaner for Chalice. They could also just pick the mid. If they
10
wanna
seconds remaining. Team Aster's
perhaps
turn.
CD.
Tide Hunter. Nailed it.
Baden.
What a guess.
You got it. Your guess is on fire today.
I like the Abaddon 3, though. If it ends up being the Abba 3. I don't think they're going to run this Bane core. The last time I saw Bane core, at least in a game that I was covering, was Sylar played it. Or no, Sylar was the 5 at that point. They had swapped into the 5. Never mind. There's the Tiny. So now you have Tiny moving in with the Inkswell as well. You have multiple options.
Doesn't Tiny's tree look really scary? Like on the top part?
10 seconds
One of those
remaining.
spooky trees?
It looks very flimsy.
5
Yeah.
seconds remaining. Turn
Like
to
a strong wind is just gonna crack the branches.
I like Tiny's head. It's very cute. Like very round.
For now.
True. For now.
Radiant team ban.
I'm always inclined to not level up my Grow, because then he doesn't carry the tree with both arms anymore. A bad
10
though.
seconds remaining.
So what? Puck is an option for Shumness.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the control would be nice. We've been talking about the Ember Puck matchup quite a bit over mid, and
Oh,
there's the ban. Yeah, never mind.
All right, let's talk about some other matchups then. What's there even that he likes? Storm could be an option.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Storm or what about Death Prophet? Like
5
Cookie
seconds
Cutter, Death
remaining.
Prophet, Abaddon. With IO, Abaddon. Looks really simple. It's good against Tiny. It's good against Ember. If they pick DP, it's probably the simplest lineup they could possibly pick. Leshrac is a candidate as well. Or maybe they go for the Bristleback again. It doesn't look half bad either.
Especially with Abaddon being in the 3 position, I feel like you're going to give him a lot of stability and sustainability in that lane, or in the game overall.
Yeah, and Vessel is not a problem anymore.
Right.
So I'm expecting Bristol or the other hero I said. Which one?
Storm.
No, the other one.
Crystal.
DP.
Death Prophet. Yeah. I said that.
Yeah, you did. Honestly, DP looks like such a good pick here against Tiny and Ember both. And then
Do they have
last
the
pick of
damage
Aster at
to
10-5.
like? Do they really have the damage to kill a Death Prophet quick enough? Or like
No, they don't.
Spirit Siphon,
Especially with Io and Abba there.
Yeah. I worry that they just don't have the damage output to get it done.
Yeah, which is why DP is such a good pick here. Or you're Somnus, you don't want to play the same heroes all the time, give him something special.
Yeah, he's always going
Like,
to something different.
Mid lane Shaman. Let's go.
Mid lane Shadow Shaman?
Yeah.
Mid lane Lion?
Sure.
Okay.
Now we're getting there.
Or Pugna.
Team
No.
Aster's turn
Okay.
to pick.
Necro.
Necro. So
It follows a similar.
is it mid
Thinking.
necro or are they going to go to something?
Yeah, I think it's a mid necro. It just owns Ember Spirit in the lane. And it's a
Right.
tiny counter as well. So it kind of follows the same thought process.
10
But the
seconds
mid game isn't
remaining.
as strong as DP, but the laning is much stronger. So they want to focus a little bit more on the
5
lanes.
seconds remaining.
And now Aster has to last pick a hero that is good against Necro. And Abaddon. And Io. Like Io, Abaddon, if they want to do a lane that. Or even Bane, Abaddon. Their lanes are insanely good right now. I don't know how Aster salvage their lanes.
Right.
What do you even pick here for XXS that can make a difference? I'm looking. I can't find partner. Let's go.
That's what I said.
You said partner for RNG.
Yeah, I just said it again though for Team Aster.
Yeah, let's go.
Nailed it.
You may now select
OD gets
your
picked
hero.
up. That's what I said. And yeah, so Ori's going to be on the Ember, Monet on the Tiny. Going to move XXS onto the OD. I want to see where these guys are going on RNG. If it's just going to be straight up that Somnus is, yeah, okay, on the Necro. And then it is the off lane Abaddon. Okay, pretty straightforward drafts. And then Bobica also has that very expensive mount. Bunny mount,
Bunny. Yeah.
which is worth like
And the
thousands.
Princess Mirana too. Looks kind of like a Japanese, like princess, something like that.
Yeah.
I like the mount too from Chalice. But yeah, the OD last pick, I thought about it as well because they needed like a scaling, damaging sort of offlaner. It's a little bit greedy, perhaps. Like it also got nerfed quite a bit. Well,
Is the
not
build
really.
still Meteor Hammer?
Yeah, probably. There's no real other build that's very viable. You also want to destroy buildings. But
Right.
I just worry a bit that the draft is a bit greedy. I mean, Mirana, OD is a strong lane, of course. You have Astral Arrow.
Yeah,
But-
it gave the setup that they need for the arrow, right? To maybe get these early kills and punish God King.
Against Io Gyro, though, that sustain is so high, I don't know if it matters.
Do you just go for the IO then every single time?
If you can. But
Yeah.
the Gyro can also just tank the arrow.
True.
Just kind of help each other. But yeah, we'll have to see. Like, if they get snowballed out of the lanes, Aster, I think there's almost no chance they win this game. But if they can
Mhm.
stabilize in the lanes, they do have a good chance in the mid game.
Yeah. So if it's anything though, like well, we've been guessing recently. I feel like all our guesses have kind of been wrong at times. But we'll see if we can finally get one right here as we'll go into game number 2. Aster on the brink of elimination. RNG on the brink of getting to that lower bracket final tomorrow. So we'll see how this series ends up going. How this potentially last game goes. Let's see where both these teams end up. XXS, he is going into the Meteor Hammer. No surprise, goes early into the Crown, doesn't get any regen. We've been seeing a lot of these heroes kind of forego regen.
Yeah, and sometimes it's really bad.
30
Sometimes it's
seconds to battle.
like if you're with an IO, it's probably pretty good because he has so much regen for you. Wait, they're actually doing Bane Gyro, right? And IO Abaddon. Okay, yeah. Very strong lane too.
Well,
Nova got plenty of regen as well.
if you're going IO Abaddon, are you going to try and go into the Curse of Avernus, so level 2?
Yeah, of course. Every time you play often Abaddon, you need a curse.
Battle begins.
Right.
There's 3 heroes, so you gotta be a bit careful perhaps.
And they've got a Aphotic Shield in 4 seconds. I don't know if the tether's going to be enough to save Chalice. Avoids the stroke, has the Aphotic Shield.
Yeah, Ori, you're coming very late to your lane now. That missed fate, a stroke of fate actually means that he lives now.
Does he miss a CS here? Let's see.
Well, he missed the block is the most important.
Yes. Oh, no, wait. No, he doesn't, because the heal is there, and now he gets to hit that CS.
Yeah. Only took 200 damage for it.
still works out in the end.
It does. The lane isn't as bad as it used to be, I think, with the new Flame Guard change, but it's still a very, very tough lane.
I want to say putting Bane here makes this a lot more of a lane that's susceptible to getting hit with that Astral Arrow and not surviving it. Like, it's a bit surprising that they went the other way, but it's not like completely surprising where I think that's the end of the world, because of course we talked about level 2, you get that Curse of Avernus, and then you've got the overcharge coming through from Felix on the IO.
Yeah, it's still gonna make Gyro suffer more than he will with the IO though. Which I thought they could actually win 3 lanes, but now I don't think they can really win bot lane.
Monet, once they do get the Curse of Avernus, this lane, I want to say, struggles a little bit.
Yeah, it is a very powerful ability, especially with the overcharge together. If they catch anyone out of position, they are in a lot of trouble.
And so Bobica just using these early arrows right now to hit a couple of these creeps, getting the range creep, getting a neutral creep. Homing missile coming out onto Bobica, and he has 3 leaps, but it's not going to matter. They've got the damage with the follow-up of the homing missile, and then the brain sap to get the kill there onto the Mirana.
Yeah.
It's not a great feeling there if you are Bobica.
Sleep into arrow, or rocket rather. Very strong combination as well, because the stun is also pretty long. 2 seconds. Get all the auto attacks in as well. You don't want to be fighting that bad, you gotta be careful. Monet.
Yeah, Monet trying to man up and go forward,
Chalice
but now Chalice is just gonna die.
Alright, you can't tank everything forever. You gotta respect it at least a little bit.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
And what I thought was going to be a little bit of a difficult lane there for Monet ends up being at least the kill for him so far. He's not CSing the best. He's 11-4 at the moment. We've seen these Necros too kind of not get that bump up, that scaling that they want. Or not scaling, but like the Reaper Scythe build up with the regen.
Game today, I was at the 90 HP permanent region. It was pretty intense.
90?
90, yeah.
How many Reaper Scythe kills did you get?
Only 6, actually. Oh, they're going on the Necro right now.
Yeah, they've got the
a lot of
Inkswell
damage.
Shadow pop, and the
Dead.
TP ends up stopping. I think they knew that Somnus was already dead, and Inkswell the run. It does leave Monet vulnerable up in the top lane, and they're going to just chase for this. They want to get this kill out onto the Tiny. They
I think
bring
Monet's just dead,
back...
honestly.
They bring back this Grimstroke. He doesn't have anything. He has no mana.
Yeah. It's should be a very simple kill. Because he also has no avalanche ready. I think it's time to say goodbye, Monet. Think about what you do during the respawn time. Maybe Facebook. Or what is it? Baidu? What they use in China?
Who? Baidu?
Baidu, yeah. Or WeChat. Bong!
Yep.
Oh, now you're also dead, probably.
Yeah.
He tried to body block, didn't work.
And now he dies for it.
And there's a massive wave in the tower as well. So.
That feels really bad.
And it's terrible, yeah. See if Monet can't really just TP back to the lane alone either, can he? Well, I guess
No,
he
not
can,
really.
because the creeper is coming, but he's not really getting a whole lot.
I mean, just TPing back isn't exactly the best thing for him anyway. Like, they could still dive the tower if they really felt like it was a necessity. One, he does have Avalanche, but you have level 4 now on both these heroes in the top lane. Level 2 on the overcharge is 70 extra attack speed. That
Yeah,
combined with the
proc is
curse.
another 60.
Yeah. So you got to be careful if you're Monet.
Yeah. I wonder if Somnus is gonna leave, reach these ridiculous levels of regen in this game, because I do think it's gonna get nerfed, like bumped down a little bit in the future. The numbers.
Right. Nightmare, homie missile coming through. Bobica.
3 leaps though.
And 2 more. We'll try to get far enough away if he can, but the homie missile hits. Bobica now. It's getting right clicked. They haven't really made anything happen with this combination just yet. Avalanche comes out. Inkswell's there. They brought Ori up into the top lane. They're trying to get Chalice out alive, but the commitment to the dive is just what's going to burn him out. And now they might be able to get the kill on a Felix as well. Ori has Slight in 4 seconds. The Flame Guard burning and the tree thrown from a distance. It's Monet for 3.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. Nice rotation. If you can't lane too well middle, just rotate away. Also nice catapult snipe by Boboka. So it can't really put too much pressure onto the tower either.
Somnus does have a level 6. He'd love to get a Reaper Scythe kill pretty early into the game.
If Bane can get a sleep here... Oh, no. Not even trying.
I mean, all it needs is a sleep, brain sap, Reaper Scythe, and I'm pretty sure you got the kill at the health he was sitting at.
For sure. Oh, the rocket. He wants the Reaper. He's gonna get it.
And the call down. Reaper Sight gets the kill on XXS. So now he's got that first stack of the Reaper Sight, that extra 3 HP regen and the 1 mana regen going to do wonders for him. And it's when you get those early kills and you can stack them up pretty early on into the game where you become a regen maniac.
It can get really ridiculous because the Shroud also amplifies everything by 75%.
Radiant's middle tower is under
You're going to bring the OG back over bottom. They've got a minute and a half until this Reaper Scythe is back up. Aster Imprisonment, Somnus protecting God King from a potential arrow. They'll bring over Ori. They want to maybe make the jump. The Nightmare immediately is there. Arrow thrown out, splits the seams, doesn't catch anybody. Ori with the slight, but it's not going to do anything. So they bring over the Ember, and, well, they don't really find much with it. Inkswell again, and here comes Ori up into the top lane to get the kill on the Chalice. They'll take him out and look for Felix. So he didn't get anything over bottom, but his hands aren't going to be empty here in the top lane. He'll tether to the creeps, and Ori unable to finish off the IO, but at the same time, they do get Chalice for the 3rd time. He is not exactly having the most exciting game. I thought this lane was going to go a lot better for them, but they've rotated kind of well here for Aster to open it up for Monet.
Yeah, I agree. Arrow coming in. Oh, he almost walked into it.
You have been denied.
Even mid lane also didn't go super well. Like, he's only 100 ahead of the Ember. All the lanes pretty stable from Aster, which is what they needed to be able to transition to their mid game.
Right.
What can they do with it though? The OD so far is the most underwhelming. Hasn't really been able to use the meter hammer for anything just yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just throwing it down for the moment. They do have Reaper Scythe back up. We'll see if Somnus tries to make another play here to get that jump up to 6 and 2 in the regen.
Top tower has fallen.
Never refuse gold.
Dire's middle tower.
He has a TP
going
available,
super
so he could come down here. Help out if need be. Arrow thrown over and doesn't land. X-Nova. There's 4 heroes here. He is in some trouble. He'll end up dying over bot. And they might just get this tier 1 tower in the bot lane uncontested. Meanwhile, though, Bobica comes over and he's trying to help contest this mid-tier 1. Instead, though, they're just going to take it. They've got the Curse of Avernus. They have the overcharge going. And it's the extra attack speed that makes this tower very easy to take. But they're going to lose the bottom tier 1 in a trade for this.
Super easy for them. What if someone's going into just a Yule Scepter? Okay. Wants to be able to save himself from the Searing Chain's arrow combination.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Going into Crystus, also on
Ooh.
God King. Very normal item build.
Got an arcane
Nothing
rune.
crazy. Yeah, but we didn't really get an opportunity to use it.
You'd think he might. They don't have Fiend's Grip though at the moment for X Nova. But he is at the 10-minute mark, but do they have Fiend's Grip now? Did he get the tome? He did. Under the Moonlight Shadow.
Radiant are scared.
Venom's Embraced. They've got the Silence, Ink Swell, Arrow out, and that's a dead Felix. Somnus moving over towards Monet, and he's throwing these Death Pulses on the Arcane Rune out, but won't be able to use that Reaper Scythe, so it will go back to a 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah, finishes the dual scepter. Now he can set up for his team offensively as well. They can't just TP out in front of him. I like how Abad is just running at people, but he can't find anything ever.
Yeah. He's holding the one
TP,
level
bot,
for the
sleep,
borrowed
sleep,
time,
sleep. Oh, they saw him.
and they saw him, but they can't get the sweep out.
They saw him but walked away. Like the that reaction felt like me when I'm like 80 years old.
Yule's out. X Nova's coming over. Ori trying to find the remnant and distance away, and that's far enough. They can't catch up to him.
That's the problem when the only setup is a Bane.
Yeah,
Or
at
real
least-
stun, I guess, is a Bane.
The moment, yeah, the only real stun is the Bane. Somnus now level 10. 2 levels ahead of Ori. They're going to throw the arrow.
Radiant's
He
bottom
has the
tower
Yules
is under
available, but doesn't need to use it just yet.
I
Holds
haven't really seen a
tall
real
on
kit
it.
either.
Thanks be to you.
attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tiny still farming very well. Top of the net worth, his lane was way better than I expected it would be.
Yeah, it went very easy, and he's going into the Echo Saber into the Shadow Blade, so he doesn't have to go for the shard first. He's actually going to have it at an early enough timing.
No. They see him as well. Nothing's really going right now for RNG.
Yeah, the movements haven't exactly been on point for them. Phantom's Embrace with the Inkswell once again. They throw the arrow out
Yeah.
to stop the TP. And now the Tether Soulbind coming through, and God King now trying to fight for his life. But, well, his life's not going to last long as Bobica gets the kill and Uri takes the other. So Aster have a 1k lead at the moment.
Well, in typical fashion, you gotta dominate game 1, then lose game 2 convincingly. Then we have a game 3 that's open for anyone's win.
And the Gyro of God King hasn't really done much. In Somnus, he had that one Reaper Scythe kill, but he hasn't really gotten much out of that for the second time yet, as they've tried to set it up a couple times, but just haven't found the opportunity to lay it down on anybody.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
At this point, you're a little bit away from 12. Do you just wait to get the second level on the Reaper Scythe before throwing it?
I mean,
If you have the opportunity, here it might be. Moonlight Shadow, they have the Fiend's Grip. Eventually, the Reaper Scythe just shows itself, and they get the kill on Monet. That is an interesting TP that he just comes in like that.
Yeah, not sure what I expected to happen. I was like, oh, maybe I'm more tanky than I really am, but yeah. He's not.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
He's dead.
And this time the Bane was ready. Chalice
Wait, he's dead.
in well too far.
My steed.
I don't know what he's expecting, but it probably wasn't that. That was way too far in.
They're really simple, didn't it?
Dire's top tower
Well,
is under
for
attack.
Aster. We baited him in, guys! He fell into our trap! I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstep for sure. Chalice trying to go into the Vlad's.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got an Orb of Corrosion. He's got drums. Probably see potentially Boots of Bearing as well.
Never refuse gold.
But he's gone phase boots. Oh, we've seen double boots anyway. With the Boots of Bearing.
Yeah, the Boots of Bearing again.
If he goes for it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Hasn't exactly gone for it just yet. Meanwhile, Grimstroke caught. Somnus doesn't have the Reaper Sight. They go to the Soulbind, they land the arrow. But they have the Rocket Barrage and they will get this kill. Now moving forward, Astral Imprisonment. They don't have the arrow to follow it up because they already used it. Monet coming over and... oh, the call down is there. Bobica taking a lot of damage. Ori coming from around the back. Somnus trying to survive this one, throwing out the death pulses, and let's see. He's going to have Reaper Sith in just a second, and now he's got it available. He's trying to find a target to get it out onto anybody. XXS and Bobica both sit low, and Somnus hasn't found either of them yet.
Yeah, it's got a sting. We're just waiting to Reaper that OD.
They're still going to wrap around the back. Avalanche, Aphotic Shield ends up popping, goes into the Ghost Shroud. Homing Missile coming out on an Ori. Ori's Sight off cooldown, so he'll avoid it. Now they've got themselves the Reaper Sight. That lands on a Monet, and that's going to be another stack here for this Necro. Meanwhile, they look over as the Inkswell pops, and it's a big one, but they've got the Fiend's Grip from the low ground. X-Nova, well, he's got the control, but they don't have the kill just yet. The Sight of Fist, once again, he's going to use the Remnant as well as being under the Shroud of the Moonlight Shadow to get away, TP back, and potentially go back in with the Remnant that he just threw the other way around. They did get the kill, though, onto the Abaddon after all is said and done.
Easy. I don't know, Monet always keeps overstepping a little bit. Like, he thinks he's much tankier than he is, but we said Necro is super strong against Tiny, because once you're half health, that Reaper Sight will most likely kill you. And we saw 4-man smoke instantly got unsmoked, though. They have so much shield sustain.
Yeah, they really do. An arrow coming in, but it's not going to land. They get the kill there out onto the Grimstroke of PQ. Ori and Bobica are trying to run. Samus, no Reaper Sight for 55, but he feels pretty strong. He's got a good amount of extra regen. And the Remnant that was placed down earlier in the fight, he goes to, and he'll avoid RNG.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, well, they could also just go into the Roshan relatively soon, I think, on RNG. Maybe after the top tower. Very hard to stop them as a 5-man group. They have a triple heal. They have save the Nightmare as well. So hard to bring anyone down. Come full to 0.
Persephone 12 going into the Ags on this Necro. He's got the Shard now. Does the Tiny have the Shard? Yeah. Shard and then Silver Edge is next. But Monet hasn't had the openings, really.
Yeah, he's still rich at least, but...
yeah. Necro's at the top.
The next Death Ball push is going to be very, very scary. Yeah, so Necro's sitting at about 21 HP regen per second right now. It's not ridiculous that, but you know, you get a couple more.
Yeah, it could get there, especially now that it's level 2. You're getting 6 regen on the Reaper Sight kills. Samus, he stepped up a little bit. Astro Imprisonment, Bobica looking for the arrow, and that all lands. They've got the Avalanche of the toss. They get the kill to Samus. They will take him out. They've given up the Aegis, though, to God King. Moonlight Shadow runs out. They're no longer shrouded under it. They're by the tier 1 tower, though. 35 seconds without Somnus.
I gotta admit, I don't mind what he did there, the positioning, but Abaddon just wasn't ready to help him. If Abaddon's ready to help him, I don't think he dies there. He's busy hitting Roshan. But yeah, that's a big kill to get. Had a pretty juicy streak as well. Now Tiny's even richer, going onto the Silver Edge.
Now Somnus no longer going for the Ags. Kaya Sanj.
I gotta admit, I love E-Blade on Necro, because E-Blade has Shard Stack, and it also gives you that juicy spell amp. But he's going a more conservative route.
Pressing up with the tier 2 tower over mid. They've got the sages to work with. Maybe forcing Aster's hand while they do have the tiny over bottom, though, to try and take a tier 2 of their own. So maybe not looking like they want to take this trade. But they are stepping forward. And Sonus will be hit with the Astro Imprisonment. They're going to get this tier 2 tower over mid. Their bottom tier 2 tower doesn't drop. And they just continue forward for at least a second.
Yeah. Have we seen it relocate yet this game? No, right?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Never really find the chance to set up anything, I guess.
Shadowblade. Monet coming around, trying to get the kill here onto Felix. Pops the mech, tossed up, tethers, but not far enough away.
Stuns look pretty good for Aster, actually. Tiny's getting massive. Doesn't have the BKB yet, though, so he can stick a burst pretty easily.
Yeah, and Ori is 4-0-7, so he's sustained this game so far. They've got the Searing Chains as well as the Phantom's Embrace to get the kill there on X Nova. They take out the Bane, and now the Meteor Hammer is down. Chalice, he's going to get low. The borrowed time is out. He's silenced up. He's trying to run, but there's nowhere for him to go. The Avalanche is there, and Aster's perfect movements make sure that they get these kills around the Aegis and around Sonus.
Yeah, and Aster looks really, or rather RNG looks really surprised by the fast movements of Aster. And of course, like if you play really fast, yeah, they're playing really, really fast order right now.
And there's the call down. Deathseeker. Monet coming over. There's the break. He's got the Silver Edge tossed up right onto these heroes. And with the Soulbind, all of a sudden, well, God King, he's in an interesting spot. And Felix buys back and relocates in.
Yeah, now suddenly the damage is a little bit too high, perhaps, huh? The 3 heals are no longer enough to just keep you alive. Tiny deals a ton of damage. Once Tiny is into his BKB, I actually am very worried for RNG.
Is God King going to get the damage with his Daedalus? He's got Ags.
They have damage. I'm just very worried about the lockdown.
Monet's just coming over. He's walking forward. And they just don't have the sentries down or anything to spot him from moving into this. XXS, well, he's not going to have the Meteor Hammer to follow that up, but God King still standing tall.
Yeah, there's no way they can just force high ground for free like this.
Ooh, XXS coming over again. Astro Imprisonment. Homing Missile will hit onto the OD.
Yeah, just poking.
They want to keep the pressure on, though, Aster. They're not really letting RNG leave for free.
Yeah, you just want to force some reactions from Aster. Then maybe they... from RNG, sorry. And then maybe find an opening because of that.
God King standing very far forward. Again, Astral. Arrow actually hits Felix. They've got the aphotic shield.
Looks like they want to take a fight here with Aegis expiring in 10.
Yeah, right on the timer. They're going to look for the Meteor Hammer and now probably the arrow to follow it up. At least they're looking for it. Bobica never throws it. Monet coming forward. He goes with the right clicks. They've still got the Moonlight Shadow. They'll have Ori coming in with the Sleight of Fist, the Searing Chains. Now the Aegis is expired. This is where they're going to make their move. Soulbind connects him to the Abaddon. Yule's up in the air. Looking maybe to get this fight started on the side of Aster. The Remnant back, though. They've caught them borrowed time of Chalice. They've got the Avalanche, and the Sanity's going to be dropped down. They get the kill on Felix. They've got the Nightmare out, but God King ends up dead. Sonus gets a Reaper Scythe off and won't kill off this Ember as the imprisonment is there from XXS.
Yeah,
Just
really
in the
well
nick
played
of
by
time.
Aster. They wait exactly for the right timing to initiate with Aegis expiring in like 5 seconds, and looks like RNG was panicking a little bit. You know, very clumped up. Tiny dealt a ton of AoE damage there, as well as the Ember as well. Even OD ult, I think it's like 4 or 5 heroes even.
Yeah.
So this game is now really, really hard to win. You had like your 5-man timing, your push timing, but Tiny's massive, OD's getting massive, and there's just so many problems this Ember is causing with the constant ink swells he's getting. You gotta win a decisive team fight, but you just don't have the lockdown to really get anything started. Like we see it time and time again where these no lockdown drafts are just suffering very badly. You can't expect your Bane to do everything.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It was without the tiny BKB. Now he has it. What are you gonna do about him? There's no way you can grip him. There's way too much backline jump. There's an Astral. There's just too many tools right now for Aster.
Yeah, every time there's been something to make sure that the Fiend's grip doesn't do enough.
A tool to teach.
Yeah, they were required to win the lanes, but in the way they shuffled the lanes, I feel they kind of gave away the advantages they had.
Bane's very dead.
By Bane.
Courier has been killed.
He almost lived.
They're either smoking or using Moonlight Shadow to move forward.
goodbye,
And
Summons as
Samus
well.
just gets blown up.
Yeah, Tiny does way too much damage at this point. He's hitting for 500 and he doesn't even have any buffs to speak up. 500!
Yeah, that is a lot of damage for them to just be moving forward with.
And 1 minute until he can find a Titan Sliver. Which means another like 80 damage on top. Not that he needs it, you know, but why not?
Is there a way back for RNG in this, or are they just too far behind?
I think it's really, really difficult. They need to hope for a lot of mistakes from Aster. I'm not gonna talk about power levels of teams anymore. I'm done. I saw hard time gauging it, man. It's like one game, RNG looks unbeatable. Next game, it looks a little bit sloppy here and there, you know?
Yeah.
Can I get a grip on Ember? No, too slow. They had a ward there too.
Samus has been
Titan
for
Sliver, first
for
item.
a while. Yep, that feels great.
Well, look at the damage go up by 81.
Yep.
Dire are scanning.
Nice. Now he's hitting for 600.
And he's about to have a blink dagger.
Yep.
It just does not feel like God King has the damage output to make this happen for him and his team. Even though he's got the Ags and the Daedalus, as well as the help from the IO, but the IO just hasn't been enough. They've been able to blow up these heroes every single time.
Yeah, God King feels like a tickle machine compared to the Tiny. Blink also picked up on Tiny now, so his positioning is going to be much easier. And the next Roshan is probably just going to decide the game. What is Necro going for? Still Kaya Sanj.
They're going to
There's no
try
real
and go
fight
for
progress.
Wraith Pact on Chalice.
A Wraith Pact.
Yeah, it's the...
It's really good against the
movable
Tiny.
totem,
Reduces his damage by 25%.
but it's still 400 minus 25%. Like, it's still so much.
Yeah. It's basically the Titan Sliver negated. And that's it.
So there's the Kaya. Should fly out. Kaya Sanj. Ags again for the Necro if you can get there. Feels like it hasn't exactly been going that direction, and there hasn't been much to the item progression there for Somnus. It's slowed down a lot. The Reaper Scythe kills have slowed down a lot too. Like he had 3 at a decent timing, and
Almost
now
much as die here.
yeah, Somnus getting spotted. Arrow Sanities does survive for a moment. Astral Prism going into the Meteor Hammer, and now we go to the call down. Duels up into the air. He's still surviving, but Ori's coming over. They've got the soul bot. They get the kill. It's just that easy. They do throw a lot. I say it's easy, and it does make them use quite a bit. But again, I just don't know if I see RNG getting the better end of this fight. They've got the Spear Vessel with the BKBB Popeye Ori. The damage still just isn't there. They still have no Necro. They've got the Nightmare. They've got Astral Prism. They have to. He's got the Ags. There's no reason to use the Fiend's Grip if you're not going to have the follow-up almost immediately.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, this game feels so hot now with Odie just protecting everyone. Very timid though, Aster is. They're smoking without the Necro? That is a little bit scary. A
He's
little bit
up in
suicidal perhaps even.
6. He is a tier 1 at TP2 top. think they felt like they needed to be at least deterring a potential Roche, right?
Yeah, potentially. And God King needs his BKB. He's down 700.
Oh, Nate spots X Nova, but
Very
he's
close.
invis.
Refuse gold.
And they know they're in Roche, but I don't know if they really have the answers here. Arrow lined up.
Ooh, the damage reduction with the Enfeeble. That's massive. Minus like 250 damage.
Death Seeker, and there's the Avalanche. Arrow following it up. Set up his Searing Chains call down there. Moonlight Shadow once again. They've got the Phantom's Embrace with the Soulbind used. They got the BKB out of Ori, but here comes XXS to get the kill on X Nova.
And all the
Buyback
cleave.
immediately. They've got the cleave. They have the damage to get the kill on the Chalice. They're going to look over as the arrow flies in. They have enough to finish off God King, and it's going to be 3 dead. They bought back on this Bane already, but they'll lose their entirety of their team. Reaper Scythe comes out, doesn't do anything in the call. GG on the side of RNG. Aster even the series up at 1.
Yeah, I think wasn't RNG the same? It was them who played this like all-in push draft with SF against LGD, right?
Right.
Yeah, they did it here again. They lose 1 fight, and again, just like in that game against LGD, they lost 1 fight. The game just feels completely over after that.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't like the way they draft these like very one-dimensional lineups, and they do so much better when they don't. I don't know why they keep going back to it. But yeah, well played by Aster. They weathered the storm, and then took their chances with their 1 team fight, won it pretty narrowly. Like they were all pretty low, but they ended up winning it regardless. And after that, they just wait to farm. They have all the save they need with XXS OD and Axe Scepter. He has BKB on Tiny. Like, what answers do you have? Really nothing.